International Airport is one of Southern California's fastest growing airports. Come experience the SoCal So Easy way with ONT. Go to flyontario.com to see how we connect people and places. Fight on Trojans and fly on with Ontario International Airport. This segment of Trojans Live is brought to you by Allstate. The Trojans are in good hands with Palaie Gaoteote, USC freshman linebacker, joining John Jackson and I right now. I am Jordan Moore. EA, tell us your story, man. I was watching something the other day, and, you know, I thought you were from Vegas because we always associate you with Bishop Gorman, but you introduced yourself as from Hawaii. So what's your origin story?
I'm originally from Hawaii, born and raised. I lived there up until my sophomore year, and then I transferred over to Bishop Gorman and been living there ever since.
Where in Hawaii?
Halava. It's right next to Aloha Stadium, literally right across the street from me.
Okay, so you grew up watching a lot of Hawaii football.
Not necessarily. I grew up a SC fan. My grandfather, my father, they're all SC fans, big-time SC fans.
A lot of SC fans in the islands, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I grew up always a SC fan, and I'm here now, blessed.
All right, so your path also crosses with Vavae Malapei in terms of you guys you played together in Hawaii. Is that where it started? And then, of course, now here reuniting, you know, at USC. I know that he was able to tell you about what, you know, college life is about and all that kind of stuff. Is it what you expected? I mean, because you came onto the scene and now, you know, now you're here, and it's happened really fast.
Oh yeah, I mean, for the most part, college has just been college, and it's very fast paced. But I think the one thing he encouraged me was just to take it as a business thing, and just to really settle down and mature as fast as I could, to not only in football but in the classroom. Yeah,
you settled down. You had a little knee issue that started camp, sort of slowed you down. We didn't hear about you much for the first month, and then boom, all of a sudden you're in a spot to start the Colorado game, and boy, you introduced yourself to the Trojan family. I know you played a little bit before that, but that felt like your coming out party. What was your mindset going into that game, knowing you're that Mike linebacker in Cam Smith's spot, and you know, it seemed like you were ready to play?
Oh man, it was just really just a thing, just running and hitting, just just trying to get to the ball, and it just worked out for me. And my teammates, my D-line, and my secondary, they did a really good job at having my back and allowing me to do what I can do.
You know, and talk about the hit you put on Laviska Shenault. I mean, he was the top receiver in the conference.
Yeah.
You guys had the biggest collision that we've seen all year in that game. It knocked you out at the time, but what we didn't know is knocked him out for last week's game as well. I know I've seen you play. I've seen you play at Bishop Gorman. You play with that kind of, you know, ferociousness. How has that been trying to get that same level of play to the college level? Obviously, the guys are bigger, but do you feel like it's your physical play is now starting to transcend?
Oh yeah, definitely. It started with the coaches, Coach Johnny Nansen, Coach P. They really just preach just flying to the ball and just trying to get there as fast and as hard as I can. So the transition was not too hard. Just trying to play football in general. Just that's the name of the game, I guess.
Yeah, I loved watching you hit, too. I loved how aggressive you were playing downhill. I know one of your idols is Troy Polamalu, who is my favorite Trojan. And I was watching an interview with him, and the way he said he got to USC and he was nervous because he was from a small school and he didn't know whether he belonged. And that's when he decided, you know, the way out for him was, the way he described it was to be reckless with my body. That he was so physical that he described it as reckless. And obviously it's not in an undisciplined way, but it made him seem fearless when it came from a place almost of fear. How would you describe the physicality that you play with and sort of where that comes from?
Oh, it's really funny that you say that. Growing up, my dad just playing football, he's always told me that I have to play like a wrecking ball and I have to go through things. So, I mean, ever since I was a little kid, that's kind of the mindset that I've always had.
You know, how long have you been rocking the #1? Because you come to USC, you wear #1. Now you're sitting next to the original #1, by the way, just to let you know.
Oh, man.
Like I said, I love that you're in the jersey. There's nobody that's hit as hard as you that's ever wore that jersey. Trust me on that. You know, why the #1? And I know that Junior Seau is one of your idols. Why not did you go to 55?
Oh, man, just number 55 is just so prestigious, and it's nothing that should be given. It's definitely something that should be earned. And for me to have the opportunity or to even have the privilege of wearing it would mean so much to my community as a Polynesian kid.
Right.
But it would definitely mean so much to their family, the Seau family, and the McGinnises and everybody else who has worn that before me. And I just hope if I do get the opportunity of wearing it that I kind of embody them and represent them as well as I can.
Well, I think the number 1 is the most prestigious number.
Yeah, definitely.
55 will work.
Yeah,
for a kid that grew up rooting for
I
Junior
got it.
Seau, I think 55 would be just fine. I know the entire internet during the Colorado game was tweeting out that it should be in the 55, but it has become a thing that you have to earn it.
Yeah.
And I like that better than just giving it to a freshman just because he comes in, with a reputation. You're certainly on your way there, and you've had the luxury of playing behind Cameron Smith.
Yeah.
What's that been like for you? What has he taught you?
Oh man, Cam is just an awesome leader. Whether it's in the classroom learning all the plays, on the field, he's taught me a lot. Whether it's getting my arm over blocks, and he's really instilled a lot of discipline into me, as well as a lot of technique and patience. So I mean, coming into the game, I was really like, let's go. But he taught me how to kind of settle things down and how to dissect things really fast.
The one thing about this freshman class that you guys have, a lot of you guys are obviously talented players and highly ranked, but you've also been on elite teams in high school. You went to Bishop Gorman. They've won 9 state championships in a row, and I don't know if you could count on one hand the number of games that you lost throughout your entire high school career when you played at Bishop Gorman. That was a very advanced situation where it's not college, but it's as close as it's going to get. How much can you take from the pressure and expectations that were on you in high school, sort of transcend them here and possibly even pass them on to your teammates?
Oh man, I mean, the Gorman staff in general just instilled a lot of discipline, and it starts there. It's just learning from your coaches, listening, and being a servant before you're a leader. So I mean, right now I'm just trying to be the best teammate that I can be, and that's just something that Gorman taught me. And hopefully throughout the years, I become a leader and start stepping into those type of roles.
You're just getting started. Where do you want to improve?
Everywhere. There's always room to get better, any day and any time.
Yeah, how many discussions do you guys have amongst the guys on your team, especially between JT and in terms of modern day? Of course, they were national champions last year. You guys were always striving. Did you guys won at least one or two when you were at Bishop Gorman?
3 or 2.
Yeah, but you guys were always in contention. Is that talk amongst you guys? I mean, because a lot of you guys went to some elite schools. Is that still part of the locker room chatter?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's more of a humor thing, especially when they play each other. There's a lot of trash talking, but we try to keep that aside, and we're in college now and try to handle it as mature as we can, and just take the situations that are thrown at us together.
So everyone, including your head coach, calls you EA. Has that been the case for a long time in your life? Or did you just get here and they called you EA?
No.
You've been called EA for a while.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my question. We've been throwing this around.
Yeah.
How do you spell EA? Because the reason they call you EA is because the last 2 letters of your first name are pronounced EA, except those 2 letters are IE. So if you were to write it down, how would you spell EA?
IE.
You would spell it IE. Yeah. All right, well, hey, at least solves our problem. I'll tell the media whether or not they want to do it. That's the way it should be. That's the way EA says it's spelled. That's the way we're going to do it. All right, hey, this is probably your first of many times on this show, and certainly many interviews with us. We're having fun watching you play, and keep going out there and doing your thing. Your next chance will be on Saturday against Arizona State. The Trojans going for 20 straight in the Coliseum. USCTrojans.com/tickets. Forget 2 points for safety. Try up to 20%. With the Allstate Distinguished Driver Discount, safe drivers can instantly save up to 20% on car insurance just for having a clean driving record, and that's on top of other discounts. Call 1-410 Los Angeles area Allstate agents today. Next up, we're going to fix JJ's golf swing with the women's golf head coach, Justin Silverstein, coming up on Trojans Live.